This is the Uncensored Man Radio Show. This show contains adult language and content. Listener discretion is advised.
Good morning and welcome to the Uncensored Man podcast. I'm your host, Corey, and we're still waiting on Doc to show up. It's a great day. Hope you guys are enjoying all the episodes we've been cranking out. Anyways, we're going to try to do one every single day, and the Doc has joined the room, so welcome, Doc.
Welcome.
Thank you. How's the Doc this morning?
I'm doing good. I got my coffee that I almost spilled all over myself.
Good.
But other than that, doing just fine. How about yourself?
Good. I overslept. Sorry I missed our earlier appointment. I never do that.
You overslept and what?
I overslept and missed our first appointment today. Yeah. I never do that. Like, I never sleep in. It's wild.
Yeah, well, I've had a rough few nights. I've been sleeping in a little bit.
That's all right.
But yeah, that's why I start my appointments at 9 a.m. and not 8 a.m. because I'm constantly worried of late nights, you know?
You'll have that. I don't have too many of those.
Yeah.
I try not to anymore.
Oh, man.
Maybe it's just because I'm getting a little bit older.
Oh, I wasn't talking about late party nights. I was talking about late nights just being up fucking around, you know?
Well, yeah.
Mindless, brainless activity. That's the other thing. You got to get your sleep cycle. I had a roommate in college. His name was Matt Moore. He became a cop with the Chicago Police Department.
Oh, really?
And he was a football player. He used to wake up at 5 a.m. every morning to go do their workouts and shit. And I used to be just amazed at the discipline of this guy, dude. Like our room was always like spotless clean. His shit was always like perfectly organized. He was like a routine guy. You know, if he had class at 8 a.m., he left at exactly 7:45. Like he was never late to anything. And he told me, he's like, one day he said, a good sleep schedule will take you anywhere you want to go in life.
Really?
And I've kind of internalized that and not listened to it as much as I should, but that's true.
That's amazing. I definitely notice the difference when I get a good night's rest. Like, I just perform like on point. And if I don't,
my dad used to wake up very early too, but yeah, sleep's important, you know. Sleep is very, very important. As I fall asleep on my lawn chair here.
Yeah, probably doesn't help drinking coffee all day either. Probably should cut it off. Like, I should probably cut it off way sooner.
Well, I don't drink coffee in the evening. I drink Red Bull and vodka.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, I'm joking.
Your sleep cycle.
I don't really drink much caffeine after noon either.
Yeah, that's a pretty smart idea. I've never been able to do that.
Yeah, but sometimes if you gotta focus, you gotta focus. That's why we have other vices like nicotine and etc.
Yeah. I am addicted to this thing called a Juul. You ever seen one of those or heard of one of those?
The name rings a bell. What is it?
Yeah, it's just like a little vape thing. It's like a little nicotine vape.
Oh, Jewel. Oh, you motherfucker. I remember. I remember that's what my ex-girlfriend used to do, the Virginia tobacco
Yeah, that's
flavored
what I got.
Jewels.
Virginia tobacco. It's
I
like
used
the
to
most
get them from the
addictive
gas
one.
station for her. Oh,
Yep.
man.
It's the worst of all of them. I don't know what it is about this particular one, but it's like, and it's been around like the longest. It's the one I got started on, and I still am stuck with it. Like,
By the way, you want to know something interesting? Is
yeah,
vaping amongst women who vape tobacco have a very high, they score high in like psychopathic traits.
really.
There's a correlation
What about
between
guys?
women using vaping and being at least subclinical psychopaths, which I think is interesting. They have the same thing with tattoos, same thing with body count, all the shit your grandmother knew about.
That's vaping, tattoos,
Well, grandma probably
high
didn't
body
know
count.
about vaping, but she knew that bitches with tattoos were bad news.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. What about guys with tattoos and guys that vape? Is there any correlation there?
I don't know about the vaping, but the tattoos across the board in both male and female is associated with subclinical psychopathy.
Great. I got tattoos all over now.
I got a neck tattoo and I'm a doctor.
Yeah. You got a neck tat.
What's that say about me? I'm super defiant.
I know. I saw that career killer tat you got on that neck. It's crazy. That's wild. I kind of like it.
You called it a career killer? That's funny.
Yeah, you got that career killer tat right there. I love it.
You're
Honestly, thought
not too
about getting
wrong.
one.
You're not too wrong because a few years ago it would have been a career killer. That's just how stupid the society is. But I think this is at the heart of why I work for myself. It's not because of the tattoos. It's just because of the standards that are imposed upon doctors by society to be like these super perfect, never go out of line, always within the system types of individuals. And then when COVID crashed everything and faith in all the health institutions was lost completely for very good reason, they don't deserve any trust or faith.
Right.
Then, you know, a lot of doctors were kind of just like, fuck it, I'm not gonna be this Brady Bunch style caricature of what people think I should be. I have opinions, I want to share them, and I don't give a fuck what other people think. And so that's the direction a lot of us took. But it's made a lot of us unemployable, for sure.
Wow.
But the tattoos never hurt me in terms of working, actually. It's more my political opinions.
You think?
So that's just the reality. But most men today this is like the HR thing. Most men today cannot really have opinions if they want to keep their job. You know, it's sufficient for them to find out that you listen to, questionable podcast or something to
Right.
fire you.
Like this one?
This will be questionable. Not as questionable as some others, but we're working on it.
Yeah.
We're working on it. We're working on it. We'll be universally offensive soon. As soon as I sharpen my claws a bit more.
Sharpen your claws, brother. You got to work on that toxic.
So I want to talk about heterofatalism today. Have you ever heard of that term, heterofatalism?
No, I don't think I've heard of that. No.
Okay. Well, you've never heard of the term, right?
I'm pretty sure I have not heard of that.
Never been in your daily vocabulary, right?
No. Never.
Don't think you read it anywhere in a book recently, right?
No, sir.
Okay. So the reason for that is because some bitch at NYU made it up completely when she wrote this article for the New York Times. Why all the men have left dating. So what is this chick's thesis? Heterofatalism. What does that mean? It means, basically what it means is that men don't like modern American women because they've internalized. I'm not even really sure what her point is. Men are just bad, I guess. They're just bad. Men just naturally hate women. Just that's what their point is. And that's why men behave so badly, or they have bad dating behavior, as the article says. So what's bad dating behavior? She says not calling a person back. Not calling a person back, not texting a person back. Dating multiple people at once. Now, when I read that, I thought to myself, what percentage of women under the age of 35 on these online dating apps see more than one man at a time? What? And then question number 2, what percentage of women under 35 are sleeping with multiple men at one time? So I'll give you a multiple choice questionnaire for question number 1. Do you think it's 5%, 10%, 20%, 60%?
Oh, fuck. You had to go with the 60. Don't even.
Well, I don't know. I don't know the answer.
I don't know. Yeah, okay.
I'm guessing.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm
That's
guessing it is
question.
close to 60%, though.
You've got to be shitting me.
Now here's the rub, though. What percentage of women that are dating more than one man, like going out with them, talking to them? And by the way, I don't just mean like going out on dates, like, you know, like physically in person meeting. I mean just like even just texting daily. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so what percentage of women that are talking to or dating more than one guy at a time are sleeping with more than one guy at a time? What percentage would you say that is?
I don't even know if I want to know, bro.
Well, levy some kind of guess.
20%.
20%?
Okay, 20. I'll guess 20%.
Okay. I don't know the answer to that either. I would suspect it's closer to like 10%.
Okay, it's lower than. Okay, well that's good. It's better.
I would guess it's a little bit lower. It could be as high as 20. What I will say is this: if it is high, that is more of a selection thing with the population of the girls who use the dating apps. In other words, most women, this is the most important part of what I'm about to say. Regardless of what it looks like, there's numerous studies we have at this point that are recent and modern that show that most women are actually not promiscuous. Most women are not promiscuous.
Really?
So if you look at the behavior of women from online dating apps, you may be misled to the conclusion that that represents all women.
This is
But
fucking great news.
dating apps, the population of women that use dating apps is very different than the general population of young single women.
We're just talking about a sliver of the population, and that's basically
Correct.
all the psychopaths are on the apps.
Correct. So the good news is the white pill is most girls actually are not whores. Actually,
This
they're
is
not.
really great news. Actually, this is uplifting.
However,
Okay.
however, there is some bad news.
Oh man.
What are the so if we okay, so they're not promiscuous. All right, blah blah blah. Why? So then why are so many of them single? A lot of them, to be honest, are celibate.
I can believe that.
There is an increasingly high percentage of women that are just becoming straight up celibate, avoiding men altogether.
Wow. It just sounds like men and women are awfully a lot alike in a lot of ways too.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Well, just increasingly more men are staying celibate and women are too.
Yes. A lot of men's celibacy is involuntary.
Involuntary.
Yes, we call them incels.
Incels.
Because they're involuntarily celibate. women, especially young women, but pretty much women of every age, are always going to be voluntarily celibate for the most part, because women can easily get sexual partners. It takes almost no effort for them to do that.
I would argue on some of those women can't. Not all of them can.
Well, the deformed ones, the land whales, the ones that are...
Bro, there's a lot of land whales out there.
Well, but the thing is, there's a lot of Moby Dicks out there too. You understand? There's a lot of whale hunters out there.
Yeah, I suppose.
So even that is not a absolute bar, but
Yeah. Or the men that they can get with are, they just, they wouldn't want anything to do with them.
yeah,
And I can understand that too.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all nobody's different in that respect. I think we all are kind of choosy. Some of us.
well, that's what I mean. They have the opportunity. They just don't. Women always have options, but the options might not be the options they want.
And I mean, I would honestly argue that for men too, but if you think about it,
there are a lot of men with just no options, period.
Really? Okay.
I think, yeah. Yeah, if you think about it.
But I think for men, I mean, this is my opinion. Maybe they don't have options, but I think they just don't have any, they just don't know what to do. They're just so fucking awkward, so insecure. And I guess, I don't know. I think a lot of that could be trained out of them, if you know what I mean, if they were able to learn. But some people are just naturally awkward for life. Like I'm kind of awkward, but like I can still figure some things out. Some guys just cannot figure anything out.
Well,
But
that's definitely true.
I think with a little bit of training and a little bit of help and a little bit of this and that, a lot of guys could change that. But so I don't think it's just
so
like they're given.
If you had a guy who was a virgin at 40, let's say normal weight, not disfigured, average looking, not above average, not below average, just average looking. What could he do to improve his sexual marketplace position? Was the one thing he can only change one thing. Does he get money? Does he get does he get plastic surgery and improve his looks? Does he work out or here, I'll put it to you like this. Let's go with the multiple choice options. So option A, he gets $10 million deposited in the bank. Option B, he gets a bodybuilder physique. Option C is he learns how to spit game like
yeah.
He learns to game kind of like Paul Janka, New York City day game 20 years ago.
Yep.
So just like unreal levels of game.
I'd go with C.
Okay. Why wasn't even finished with okay, but you go with C, huh?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's his quickest way, really, besides hitting the gym and then the money in that order. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong about the money. That could probably land him. He could just buy some pussy at that point, but I mean, but for real, like game, like most of these guys just don't have any game whatsoever. And they could have an opportunity standing right in front of them and they'll turn it down because they'll just ruin the opportunity because they don't know they don't even see any signs or signals that are right in front of them, staring right at them. Seriously.
Yeah, well, now we're back to just talking to random women out in public. The actual talking part is the game part. The deciding whether to walk up to her or not is the you being a pussy or not part.
Yeah. Seriously, most guys will just shoot themselves in their own foot and ruin the opportunities that are presented because they just don't know. They don't get it.
But see, that's what I would say. This is more about agency and independence from outcomes, where I would say the most important thing is not A, B, C, or D. It's not money. It's not having a perfect physique. It's not even having perfect game. I think the best option is to have very high agency. So to have this sense that you're in control of your own destiny and you're in control of everything. Because you can give somebody $1 million, right?
Right.
But if their mindset is defeatist and negative and they're depressive, like they're not going to do anything useful with it. They'll just blow it and they'll be poor and destitute again.
Yeah.
You can give someone with a good physique also a bunch of game. You could teach them pickup lines, which are stupid. You could teach them all the red pill shit in the handbook. You could teach them, but it won't authentically be themselves. So they're
Right.
always going to be battling against that. It's always going to be fake. It's always going to be inauthentic. But if you could change someone's agency, if you could change someone from being someone who thinks that the world happens to them as opposed to they shape their environment around them, that's, I think, when you really change their life and make many things possible. The first and most important thing is happiness.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You
Yeah.
know,
No, you're
what
right. Ultimately, you're right. Because, like, I mean, I went through a period where I was just desperate and lonely and depressed, and I wasn't attracting anyone. And, like, I guess what did you call it? Agency?
agency, yeah.
Yeah. The more,
External locus or internal locus of control.
the happier I became, the less I was negative and toxic and gossipy or whatever, or just complaining about my state. The more I'm just truly in my own game, like everything's gotten better, really
Yeah.
has. Yeah.
And that's, wouldn't you say, when you're depressed, like
Yeah.
that makes you, again, back to feelings, it makes you feel like you don't want to do anything.
Correct.
You don't feel motivated. So it's a lack of motivation. It's a lack of activity. It's like an arrest of life, basically.
True.
So to me, the best way to improve a 40-year-old man, never mind he's a virgin, never mind he's depressed or whatever, the best way is to come at it from a improving life angle rather than appeasing what women want type of angle.
Let's take a look at let's just take a look at the 40-year-old virgin. Remember that movie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, there's some truth in that. Like, I guess he did kind of improve his agency, but like at the same time, it was always staring him right in the face, but he wouldn't accept it, right? Because of his own fear and insecurity. But he did have to create more agency in his life. He became way more confident but you know what I'm saying? Like he just
Yeah.
shot
So
himself in the foot.
he had to, part of the movie was at first, okay, fake these attributes, but then he had to really actually develop them
Right.
genuinely. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. But then remember the lady that like she was like practically throwing herself at him and he was just like, "Nah, man, I'm not like I can't do this," right? Remember
Mm,
that?
yeah,
Like what's up with that?
kind
Like
of.
yeah. Well, he did some of these things, but yeah, he's just like he finally got this gal that liked him and like he didn't even know what to do with it. He didn't know how to handle it. He didn't accept it. He kept trying, his behaviors kept screwing it up for him, but she didn't give up on him.
And is that realistic?
Actually, I think in a lot of ways it is. I think we, as guys that are like that, really tend to screw up opportunities that are staring us right in the face. But
So
if
women
you're,
really wait around for you to improve. They really do that.
some do.
Yeah. See, that's the answer. The answer is some actually do.
Mm-hmm.
So we started the show off by explaining that, in contrast to what you hear online, not women are not just all whores. People pretend like dating is a disaster because women are all whores. That is not true. That is
Did I ever say that?
demonstrably, provably false. What?
Did I? I hope I didn't ever say that.
You never said anything like that.
Okay.
But that is common that's commonly believed though, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. And I suppose
That's
they
the
think that
red
about
pill
men
thing.
too.
Hypergamy.
And it's just the sliver of the population that's like that. Probably just the girls on the dating apps with tattoos and they vape.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Psychopaths.
Yep.
See, people can't get at the truth of anything today because everything is so extreme.
Swayed.
Everything is so extreme, so you can't have a situation where two things that are seemingly mutually exclusive as explanations, but they're not when you really think about it. People don't have the level of insight or the ability to consider or cogitate on the fact that some social problems are multifactorial and there's not simple reasons for it. There's not simple answers for it. So the whole red pill thing is like, okay, there's 80% of women chasing 20% of men, and men that are below a certain threshold in terms of physical appearance, wealth, status are essentially invisible, right?
Right.
That's the idea.
It's the idea.
But is it true?
Is it true?
But is it true?
Yeah. In some respects it is, but I would argue that it's not. Definitely.
Yes, in some respects it is true. In other respects, it's extreme and ridiculous. Like, first of all, just statistically, we know it's not 100% of women going for 20% of men. It's not the Pareto principle. There's no evidence that that's the case at all whatsoever.
Nope.
No. So it's not that simple. But women are typically there is definitely a high prevalence of women dating the same guy.
Yeah. I mean, hypergamy is a real thing, but
So women do
It's
chase
not-
the same kinds of men, and women do often share the same kinds of men, consciously or unconsciously. But so that part of it's true, but that part that's been true since the beginning of human history. That's not new.
no.
There's nothing new about that. That's how
There
it's
are
always been.
Yeah, I mean, there are women that like loyalty and genuine presence and
Oh,
just,
well,
you know,
I'm not, but brother, I'm not even talking about loyalty. I'm just talking about the fact that women just baseline, they're attracted to guys that are 8 and above, and they're more willing to share guys like that than men would be in the reverse situation. That's true, right?
think guys do that too.
Not knowingly, no.
I would argue that men are just like that in a lot of ways.
You mean we share one woman that has a bunch of guys?
Maybe not at the same time, but like maybe it's our turn and oh well.
So the male concubine type of thing? Yeah, well, that probably is becoming more common. I would say that's definitely becoming more common just because. See, here's the thing. I just got through explaining how not all women are promiscuous and many of them are celibate. So now I'm about to say something seemingly contradictory. The promiscuity is worse today amongst women, but it's just a small percentage of them. It's just a small percentage of them. But among that small percentage, it's quite bad.
Yeah, it's a certain subset of the population that's like that.
So that's the thing is a lot of these dumb TikTok influencers with millions of viewers that make these anti-woman posts every day. And I would classify some of it as anti-woman, truthfully, because it's not fact-based. It's based on, you can tell it's based on like bad experiences they've had, whatever. All right. Doesn't mean what they're saying is untrue necessarily, but it's not coming from a position of good faith, nor is it constructive. But promiscuity can be both worse and not nearly as big of a problem. It's really bad amongst the women that are promiscuous. So this is the reason why you should avoid promiscuous women. This is the reason why body count matters for both men and women. The more sexual partners you've had, the less likely you are to stay in a long-term monogamous relationship. There are studies showing that after 5 lifetime sexual partners, your risk of divorce is up to maybe even 10 times higher than someone with fewer. So,
Damn, that's a lot.
yeah, so body count does matter a lot.
Just 5 partners?
Just 5. 5 to 7, I can't remember, but
And it's just, what about
7
men?
seems so low for today, I mean, honestly, but listen, this is the reason why don't ever let yourself be gaslighted into thinking body count doesn't matter, because there's so many studies, many of them conducted probably by feminist social psychology professors, that shows conclusively the more sexual partners you have, the less likely you are to stay in a divorce, the more likely you are to cheat, the more likely you are to be clinically psychopathic or clinically or subclinically psychopathic. So all this bullshit about body count doesn't matter and her past doesn't matter, that's a total lie.
That is a lie.
That's only a fool, only an idiot would believe that. That's a lie for retards to believe.
That's a lie from the pits of hell,
That
man.
it's a lie from the pit of hell, we could say. That's fine. That it is a lie from the pit of hell. That a woman's body count's probably the most important thing you should find out about her if you're considering her for like a long-term relationship. That's like the most important thing you should find out about her past.
Holy shit.
And
So
I would
can we
argue,
that's the same thing for men? Holy shit.
same thing for men. Women should find out about that with their male male partners too.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's very important. So don't be gaslit into thinking that body count doesn't matter. Body count matters more than just about everything.
Fuck
Body
no.
count is more predictive than
You know what this tells me?
what?
A hoe is a hoe.
Yes.
Man or a
Well,
woman.
people will say that's crude, but that is the truth.
That's
You are what you are. See, here's the thing. People don't change. People don't change by and large. People can change habits and behaviors. People don't fundamentally change who they are. If you're a person that self-soothes yourself by having random, casual, well, we don't even have to say random, but just having a lot of casual sex,
right?
You are probably very mentally ill. You're probably very mentally ill.
That's wild. Yeah.
So the body count thing is, it's a big lie. You could even say it's a psyop. It's a feminist psyop. It is not true. Body count, a woman's sexual history is by far more important than just about anything. It's more important than whether she grew up with a father in her life, I would say.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of girls that have triple digit counts. They grew up with mom and dad present. Usually dad spoils them, gives them whatever they want, or whatever, or they could be in an abusive situation, but that's a lie. Like, oh, find out if she has a father in her life. That's not a bulletproof thing.
No.
We want to know, how many bodies did you catch? How many guys have you slept with? Oh, okay. Was this in the context of a long-term relationship? Was this a one-night stand? How many one-night stands have you had? For me, that's a deal breaker if a chick's ever had a one-night stand.
Wow.
For like a long-term relationship. No way. Because that implies recklessness. That implies horrible garbage judgment. That implies a degree of self-sabotage. So that it's like, it's like this. Let's say you were on a date with a chick whose job was to report on the war in Gaza. Okay, so she was a reporter for CNN or whatever, and she had to go into the actual war zone and interview the people or whatever, take pictures of the soldiers fighting and stuff. Not a very safe job, right?
No.
Okay.
I'm just
Let's say all of her other characteristics outwardly are great. She's beautiful. Just that's her job. She's a war zone reporter. Is that someone you would marry and have children with?
I mean, not if she's going to war zones all the time.
Well, let's say she's retired from doing that, but she did it for 10 years.
Maybe. Give her a
Okay.
chance.
Okay. I wouldn't. No fucking way.
She's crazy.
If you do that kind of job willingly, it implies a degree of recklessness.
Interesting.
So there are all kinds of things dudes have to consider that wise men of the past would have considered when we had arranged marriages. This is actually the reason why the T app exists and why there's mugshots all over. It's because women can't choose partners very well.
Man.
They really can't. They actually need arranged marriage situations where men in their life select possible partners for them, and maybe they choose from a collection of that. But they don't do a good job of choosing.
Guys don't either.
Well, guys don't either, but guys also have a dearth of options too. So women have a lot of options. They don't select well at all. Consistently, they select poorly.
I just saw a thing from Andrew Tate this morning about the T app. T dating app is great. The more fucked up your ex says you are, the more girls you'll get. Girls will send her support on the app and say you're terrible, then DM you on Instagram trying to get a ride on the emotional roller coaster. Abuse me, daddy, please.
He's not wrong about that. I mean,
I saw another thing
is
Twitter.
what's happening.
People were offering, or H. Pearl Davis was offering to write reviews for $100, and the comments were just going off. Like, I'll give you $100 to write me a terrible review, just over and over and over again.
I know, it's so funny. Like, dudes now are like, well, what I was gonna say is, so that's true. So there are women that are finding guys on there and are sexually interested in them, and that is a fact. That is what's happening. I mentioned that yesterday. So this is why this is so embarrassing for women. It's like, it's not going to be used as a place where they stay safe. It's going to be used as a gossip site primarily, and then there's going to be moments where really mentally ill women try to hook up with the guys that are posted there because they like violent or abusive types of men. Or sometimes not even abusive men, it's just like
Womanizers.
really attractive men, that are into casual sex, and so so a lot of women are interested in those guys too. So the T app may become one of the best dating apps of 2025 for
Maybe
Chad.
so. Hell yeah.
Chad always wins, boys. It's funny.
If you're into that subset of the population. Mm-hmm.
Well, I actually don't think it's going to be quite like that. I just think the net effect is just going to be a lot less people using dating apps and dating. I bet you if you went into the boardrooms of the Match Group that run, I believe they run Bumble and Tinder and maybe even Hinge, I bet you they're super panicked about this
Really?
T app. Oh yeah, because their stock prices have fallen dramatically just in the last 2 years. Men don't use the apps anymore. They really don't. There's very few people on them. And so this is just another thing that's pushing people away from online dating, period. And since it's pushing people away from online dating, it's pushing people away from just dating in general. It makes sense though, because who wants to? There's already the risk you're going to get ghosted. There's already the risk that she's talking to 10 other guys at once. There's already the risk that she has a high body count, is going to be a waste of time, and is going to have no motherly or wifely qualities. Now you have to add in the risk that this bitch could put you on an app and slander you and ruin your life, possibly in professional ways. And it's like, who the fuck wants to deal with that? Nobody, no man wants to deal with that anymore.
Stay away from the girls on the apps, boys.
Yeah. So if you were already kind of like, I don't know if I want to be on these dating apps, just seems like they steal my money, match me with land whales, or no one at all. And yeah, I never get dates. And so this is just going to push those guys off completely because they're like, well, I'm not going to put myself at risk.
Yeah, no,
So
don't do that.
anybody who can make a functional dating app will be a multi-billionaire overnight. How would you
Yeah.
design the ideal dating app?
How would I design it? Gosh, I don't know. I mean,
Because I'll tell you honestly, when I heard about this, when I heard about the T app, I was so fucking furious because I thought to myself, how the fuck did I not think of this idea? This was like a home run idea.
what about the guy version of it? Why don't we get on that? I don't think it's been out there. It's not out there yet, is it?
There's several people developing it, but like I said, that's a waste of money because that'll get taken down.
Yeah,
There will not be a guy version of the T app for two reasons. Number one, it's just accepted as a double standard in our society that women can behave horribly and get away with it, whereas men are held to a much higher, even unreasonable standard, especially when it comes to critiquing or criticizing women. So there will not be a male version of the T app that stays around for any long period of time. That will be deleted.
Fair enough.
The other reason is men, as I said yesterday, are not collaborative in sexual strategy the same way women are. Won't elaborate on that now, but the result of that is just going to be there's going to be fewer men participating than there are women. So it's going to be a lower participation app. And the third reason related to the second is men who are smashing people's wives and stuff like they're going to keep quiet about it. I mean, when all you have is the next door neighbor who's married and that's your only option and you want to keep smashing her behind her husband's back, I mean, you're not likely to reveal that information. So I don't think it's going to be a success in the same way that the female version is. And I think the female version will continue and will stay up and will thrive. I don't think they're going to remove it, but they will remove the male version. That is for damn sure. The only way they won't take down the male version is if there's like hardly any participation, which could happen.
True.
Or the guys will ruin it by putting like naked pictures chicks have sent them on there because that violates the law. That's called revenge porn. You absolutely cannot do that. You can go to prison for doing that. But there's a lot of guys that are very fucking stupid that will do that. I wouldn't even rule out the possibility that there are women that will infiltrate the app to do just that, to get the app shut down.
For real. I guess you could just like pay somebody to get your bad reviews on the T app and improve your odds with women.
That's hilarious. People pay to get bad reviews put about them.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. But this reminds me, back when I was dating in Sioux Falls, which was a long time ago, I was wondering, like, damn, why am I not getting any matches? I used to like crush here. And then I realized the reason was I was on that Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook group. And so all the chicks I'd smashed went and like were complaining about me. And my pictures were all over it. And I was like,
damn, brother.
Dude, one of my best friends sent me a picture of it.
That's funny.
That some other girl sent to him. And I'm like, damn. At the time, I was like, I was pretty angry about it. And I was thinking of like contacting Facebook to get it shut down. But then as time went on, I'm like, you know what? It's actually a badge of honor.
Jeez.
I came to the same conclusion dudes are coming to today. But anyway, that's what happened. So girls do use it. They may make very good use of it. They don't make good use of it, but they make use of it because they still don't make good decisions. And so that's why you see chicks that are trying to find dates off the T app because here's the actual hot guys in our community. They think everybody's ugly and below them because they're all narcissistic. They score very high in narcissistic traits. Young American women do today. So it's like a hunting ground. Hunting for the bad dudes. hunting for the bad dudes. But, you know, they've done experiments on women that date guys who are domestic abusers. And very frequently, these women go from one abuser to the next. Like, they don't. Jordan Peterson has a video where he interviews a guy who did these studies. But it's not that women like to be physically abused. It's just that some women do subconsciously like to be abused. And that's very fucked up.
That's wild.
But yeah, it's wild. It's sad. Nice guys finish last.
But they do finish.
Nice guys finish last, and they may never finish. They probably won't finish. Being a nice guy in 2025 is a huge mistake. The only nice guy are the Chads. Chads is the only one that can afford to be a nice guy. Everybody else, you have to be an asshole, basically. The most generous man is the one who has the most. That's the only one who can afford to be generous.
Who has the most?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we enter a society where people have less and less and there's greater income inequality, who can afford to be charitable? It's the people with money that can afford it.
This is true.
So the same goes for dating. Who can afford to be empathic and not manipulative? Well, it's the guys that are already getting laid. Because if you are that without already getting laid, you're not going to get laid. In our society, in American society, doesn't apply overseas. That's why I said I'm not going to live a life of just narcissistic manipulation. I'm just going to become a passport bro and deal with women that are more psychologically healthy and normal.
How are you meeting those women?
Well, you already know how. I live in Mexico half the time.
Right. Are you, well, maybe somebody's never heard this episode. So, like,
what am I doing? Yeah. So I live in.
Do you just meet people in person, like at the bars or clubs, or
sometimes not definitely not clubs.
You're just matching with them.
Just out there socializing but using dating apps. Dating apps work in Latin America. They work pretty well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to work well here if you're like, for most men, you're going to, and here's the thing, like what it boils down to is you got to meet people, right? So if you're not out meeting people, you're not going to meet someone. That's the bottom line, period.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to meet someone in America, but you're not out meeting people, like you're not taking some kind of classes or going out to some clubs or coffee bars or hanging out with friend groups, you know, if you're not going to events, like, yeah, you're not going to meet people. So, like, number one is you got to put yourself in a place where you're going to fucking meet people for sure. Like,
we have to have John Anthony on to talk about this, but yeah, that's it. In America, there's no serious dating options on these apps. Just get the fuck off the apps. The apps are really evil too. You don't want to give money to the people that run the apps.
Yeah, they're just going to drain your money, and it's going to bring you down.
The apps are goy slop. So just get off the goy slop apps. The apps, if they were run by non-greedy people, they would efficiently match people and pair people off and just be satisfied with that. But no, they're revenue maximizing, so they don't try to match you. They try to get you to spend as much money as humanly possible and make it so that you don't match with people. That's kind of how their algorithms work. It's a money grab. So, yeah, very greedy. It destroyed them in the long run. Had they just been a simple, you know, matching service where they match people that are roughly equal looks and, you know, or whatever, I think they would have had greater longevity. The reason they're dying is because of their own greed, and I'm happy to see them die. These are bad people, by and large.
Damn.
The people that run these dating apps are garbage human beings. So it's good that they're dying. It's good that their apps are dying and their shareholders are losing lots of money, and hopefully they will go completely bankrupt. So,
well, I think we covered some great stuff I got a lot of great feedback out of this episode today, you know?
Perfect.
Yeah. I enjoyed it, and I think we covered a lot of things that maybe just breaking down some of the things that our own delusion. It's really easy to just fall into delusion over some of this shit, but really what it boils down to is men and women are a lot alike. You know, it's just, I don't know.
There
There's
are ways
something-
to win. You gotta learn them. It's not the dating app route.
Yeah, all the women are going to be shit if you're just looking at the women on the dating apps. Yeah, they're all shit because that's all you're looking at.
Yeah.
Is the shit women.
I want to say one last thing before we go. That's the thing guys don't realize. The red pill shit, get that garbage off your YouTube feed. Like if you want to listen to Myron for all his political shit, that's fine. I think Myron's great. But all these other guys don't know what they're talking about. Just get it off your feed. Stop listening to it. It's not helpful. Women are not all whores. In fact, many women are just celibate and distrustful and do not like men.
Absolutely.
It's not. There's a very small percentage that are promiscuous. And yes, a lot of them are on dating apps. You want to stay away from those women. It's a red flag if a woman's on a dating app. So just stay away from them.
And you've got time on your hands too. Like the longer a woman's been celibate, the easier she's going to get at some point. You know what I mean? You're going to
maybe. I don't know about that. Well, maybe, but there's a lot of opportunity because
I'm not wrong. Like
there's a lot of opportunity for guys who aren't afraid to talk to women in person.
Right. And I'm not trying to say be promiscuous or, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be like that. I'm just saying like, yeah, the opportunities, it could get easier or, you might meet somebody that's been single for a while and like you click and then all of a sudden, okay, now she's like finally ready to like come out of her shell a little bit because she sees something she likes in you,
There you go.
That's what I'm trying to say.
There you go. I agree, brother. Mm-hmm. Well, happy Friday. Have a good weekend. Hopefully we can have everything up on Spotify so my TikTokers can follow and listen to my ramblings and I can hear my voiceover again.
Yes. I'll be working on that. I've just been looking at the distribution page here, and I've already created the pages, so I'm trying to not like reduplicate everything, so it doesn't just. Yeah, I'm not sure if Podbean creates the pages or if it wants me to input the pages that I've already created. So I see. It looks like.
Hopefully we can get that up there, and
I'll get it up there.
Maybe even I can put up some stuff on YouTube. Yeah, but anyway, have a good weekend, everyone.
Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow at 8.
All right, sounds good. Have a good one.
This is the Uncensored Man Radio Show. This show contains adult language and content. Listener discretion is advised.